400 here, everyone. Ashes of Typhon, blue side. Sneery Thug is an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Looks like this is the Blood Angels Elite scheme recolored to be more shiny like. A Death Company Apothecary here. Up against Tharx Gamma is a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fights in melee combat, begins with a refractor field, can shoot his own feathers in the head. Looks like we have standard opening for Tharx with double Guardsmen into a Sentinel. Sneery Thug with Marines on the field, going to stick by the Apothecary most likely early on. Patrol that east side, go for that contested VP. Scouts can patrol the west side. Going to run into some Guardsmen most likely, who will shoot them down, I think. And then what? Into Devastators, I guess. And then ASM, most likely a 1-1-1 build, I would think, for Sneery Thug on this map. ASM, pretty useful for jumping over these massive rocks and stuff. Getting places quicker. Lord Commissar is going to be a threat with his power sword, assuming he gets one. And in 271, his Xenos Power Claw is now cheaper to purchase, I believe. Down to 130.40 from 150.50, I think. The Apothecary himself only got one change. His Purification Vials now have a smaller radius, so less mass death from those things. Here we see them tangle it. Marines and Sentinel. Apothecary hanging back for now, doesn't know if that stomp is up. It is on the way. Now runs in to engage that Lord Commissar. He's tying up those Marines. There's the heal. Might need to get out there. There's a stomp. They were already in retreat, so it didn't knock them over. And he does quite handily win that first engagement. Can now decap the wreck point, maybe even pressure the power. Meanwhile, Scouts ambling up this west side, going to decap that VP. That's going to be happening all the game, probably. Tharx might have to get something specific to deal with that. He's going to lose a lot of VPs that way. 467 to 500 very early on. The 2-1 for Tharx, having taken the contested over here. So Sneery, what are you doing with your power? You've got a single generator up, which suggests maybe Devastators first. We shall see. Node is going to go down, I think. It did decap the wreck point as well. Node does go down. It's Assault Marines for Sneery Thug. Okay then. He might go Assault Marines and then drop another attack squad with his drop pod or something. Scouts just hanging out over here. I think they could have got a decap in the time that they were hanging out. Now they will try, but Guardsmen are here. Scouts need to leave, I think. 9 guns is enough to get Scouts out of there. Gonna approach the VP once the Assault Marines join, I think. In their Death Company colours. Well, Death Company-ish with the recolor. Looking pretty cool. Yellow helmets. Lord Commissar is getting his power sword. That might prompt... Oh, it's already there. The customized Storm Bolter, and there is the full auto. That is so powerful. He's going to be at a huge disadvantage now, Tharx Gamma, because the Commissar's not going to be able to get in to tie up the Marines. The full auto is just going to lock him down instantly and very easily. There's not a whole lot he can do about it. It's not like he can jump squads onto the Apothecary, and trying to march the Sentinel through to stomp him is going to be a massive risk. As I said before, not a huge fan of the change of putting those weapons, giving them that lockdown stun that they have now. We'll see how it goes and how Tharx Gamma can deal with it. Got some Catechins on the way. They could try and shut that down with a shotgun blast or all-reliable grenade launcher. Some cooldown right now, so the Commissar is able to get in onto those Marines who do have a flamer. Might go down a retreat though. Dove in a little bit too far and does go down. A sink kill from the Assault Marine there. Needs to try and defend his power, but look at the roasting that's going on his poor Guardsmen. Nothing to tie up those tactical Marines. That's a good stomp though. Hit all of them. Might get a model hit. In fact, he has to retreat out. Well defended by Tharx Gamma, and here comes some Catechins. These guys have power melee weapons and various ways to disrupt you. That was a shotgun blast there, which suppressed these guys. Didn't knock them over because they just jumped. After they jump, they have a few seconds of knockback immunity to stop things bugging out and stuff. Scouts are going to try and decap that, but not going to be able to because these guys can all reliable them if they need to. Might not need to though. Oh, they do it anyway. Big retreat back for Sneery. Thug goes to double ASM. Reminds me of the old faction war days with Sneakers Peekers going double assault marines with the Apothecary all the time. Catechin's getting a decap. They are a detector unit, so if the scouts try and be sneaky, infiltrating around, doing annoying things, they can spot them. No upgrades for these guys, but they've done a good job harassing the west side so far. And here's the Lord Commissar to do that. Lost the indicator for him. But he's going to get a decap here at least. Does he turn to go after him? Nope. He's bringing everything else to the east side. Sentinel's going to be in trouble here if he's not careful. Now, the Catechin play is going to be key as he uses them to get the cap and move away. Couple of models got disrupted there. Loses one. Gonna lose another soon. Yeah, shotgun blast goes off, but it was Catechin's got caught there. Saved by the Sentinel, but the Sentinel will now go down. And that's a bad engagement. Oh, the Sentinel lives. The Sentinel lives with 28 hit points. Did not go down. Catechin's surviving too, for now. Oh no, you need to keep moving, Sentinel. You need to keep moving. The Assault Marines are going to finish it off here. Big mistake from Tharx Gamma. Could have saved that guy, I think. I think he could have saved the guy. I mean, if those guys jumped and set their bolt pistols on it, it might have went down in a way, but I think he might have been able to save it there. Tharx Gamma now goes tier 2. I'm sure he'd love to get Ogryns and a Chimera up. Needs the Ogryns first, I think. He needs to threaten the double Assault Marines. Lord Commissar coming over to the east side now. Power Sword does pack a punch, and lead by example is pretty good too. But look at this. Generator's getting completely wiped out as he enters tier 2. Never a good sign. Where are those scouts at? Coming out of base. The natural has been decapped, but he's not too fussed so far. There's that full auto again, completely shutting down the Lord Commissar. He's going to go down if he's not careful. Does go down. Did not retreat him there. Catechin's again getting caught by the jump. You don't want those guys getting jumped. The staggered jump there. Got the shotgun blast. Now they can get stuck into melee with power melee weapons, and the Assault Marine's under threat. Dropping 2 models. Perhaps lucky not to wipe. That was a heal right at the end. Might have saved them. And now these guys, I don't think they can stand and shoot against this, really. That flame is going to destroy them. Look at that. Painful. Painful stuff. Now they can turn their attention to the node, or just keep roasting the bodies, fellas. Sure. Can anyone say Red Thirst? Look at them, they're still going. There we go. Get the node. Scouts coming over to grab that VP back, I guess. Mid power is red, and it's noded. Tier 2 now for Sneery Thug. Kind of late to go, as floating a little bit. There's that full auto again, shutting down that Lord Commissar. That's so annoying. Shuts down so much of his play. Can't get to those Marines to tie them up. Can't tie up or put pressure on the Apothecary as well. Apothecary is already level 4. Able to pretty effectively put damage on with that Storm Bolter and get some XP racking up. Catechin's reinforcing. 4 power to reinforce. Tier 2 now for Tharx Gamma. Nothing on the field though. No requisition. Needed to repurchase the Commissar again. And now he really needs those Ogryns up. Ogryns did get a little buff. Their Bonehead leader with, I think, 50 more hit points now. Scouts decapping. Are these guys going to come and have a word? It looks like they are. You have plasma guns up already. I probably would have saved for the Ogryns first. And more plasma guns on the way. They're just going to get jumped by 2 Assault Marines. Why would you spend on plasma guns first? No upgrades for the Assault Marines. Oh, Sergeant's on the way here. Expect Sergeants for both of them. Chaining those Merciless. I mean, double jumps. 1 jump after the other. And then 1 Merciless after the other. That is a hell of a lot of disruption and damage going out. I'm sure his full auto is back off cooldown as well. So we'll see what the Lord Commissar can do here. Very isolated again. Flamers doing some real work for the attacks. They are almost level 3. And they've got to fight plasma guns though. But, I mean, looking at this, how can Sneery Thug not win this engagement quite handily? There's that full auto again. Does it do damage? It does damage as well. That is so strong, and down he goes. Lord Commissar not bringing end to it. He's just been completely shut down by that one ability. Really not a fan of that. 296 to 415. There's Angels of Death. Don't think it was needed. Gives his units 50% damage reduction and immunity to all forms of knockback from his global bar. It's relatively expensive though. I think it's like 200 red or something. I think it is. I hope it is. Might be like 150. Scouts capping over here. 2 to 1 to Sneery Thug. He is behind on VPs. He's been a bit slack with that. Focusing on engagements with his entire army pretty much on this east side. These guys are not shooting. Come on, fellas. You can do it. Or not. Ogren's hit the field. Heavy melee squad with super heavy infantry armor can soak up damage for your disrupt and smack some heads. No sign of the bonehead leader yet. He probably can't afford him. Is he 100 wreck? He might be. Should be able to now, but he wants that Lord Commissar back on the field. Maybe get the bionic eye up and or the aura of discipline too. 296 to 384. Catachans and Ogrins there are a big threat to the Assault Marines, but Catachans are getting shot up here. Can he get that Apothecary down? Does get the Apothecary down. Catachans barely escaping. Ogrins piling the pressure on. They get the Assault Marines out of there. Might use Laramans to revive his Apothecary. Great global but that the Apothecary has. These guys are eventually roasting those generators, and these guys now have their Bonehead Leader. There's the Dreadnought in response to the Ogrins. That could be pretty painful for Tharx Gamma. But with Bionic Eye, if he can get to his feet and get it up, that Dreadnought will be under threat. Do these guys have their Sergeant? There he is with the Melter Gun. Good damage to all targets from close range, including that Dreadnought. I believe Melter does 75% of its damage to vehicles, I believe. Scouts getting knocked back. They do have their Sergeant though, gives them a frag grenade, which can be very nasty against Catachans. They tend to bunch up, kind of like heretics do. Dodging it quite easily. There's the Dreadnought on the field. Looking pretty cool. 2 close combat weapons and an underslung flamer. That thing will make life very difficult for the Ogrins, let's say. He needs to get the Commissar back up to buff the Ogrins. They got a decap over there, looks like 296 to 341. And despite the engagements, Gamma is keeping the VP pressure up with a 2 to 1 cap here. There it is. Again, pretty much everything coming to the east side for Sneery Thug. Fully upgraded. Well, not fully upgraded, but they have their Sergeant Assault Squads, Dreadnought as well, and of course the Apothecary is almost level 5. So almost has that beefed up level 5 heal. Marines will try to cap, I guess, with their 50% faster capping trait. Here is a Lord Commissar. Back on his feet again. Still level 1, this guy. So Ogrins are going to be the focus. He'll probably just send the Dreadnought in on those guys and use the Assault Marines to disrupt the back line. I don't think he'll use a jump on the Ogrins, but you never know. Marines are level 3 here. Here we go. There's the Ogrins. That's use your red. Allows them to move faster and disrupt stuff as well, I think. But there's the Dreadnought with a special attack, knocking 3 of them flying. And there's the Emperor's Fist too. Stun and damage and a knockback. Now he's tearing through him here. Ogrins haven't dropped a model yet. Oh! That was Inspired Determination. There it is. You execute a model, but the remaining models are completely healed to full. And they do double damage. And you just saw them tear through the remains of those tactical Marines. They also get a big speed buff, I think. I believe it's worn off now, though. Yeah, it's worn off now. 258 to 340. Good usage. Good usage of that thing. If only he had a Chimera around to instantly reinforce the model that he shoots in the face. Or the back of the head. Catachan's being annoying. There's an improvised explosive too. Dreadnought now chasing some Ogrins. Smack. Big DPS from this guy. 246 to 340 on the VP single for Tharx Gamma. That could have been a turning point. Wiping out those Marines. Now he's got what I assume is going to be a las cannon. There it is. Boom. Don't underestimate how much damage a single las cannon can do to even the heaviest vehicles. That was an Emperor's Fist. They're still chasing a Dreadnought here. Oh, and there's Inspired Determination again. Doubling their damage, healing them up, giving them more speed. I believe it gives suppression immunity as well. Yeah, immune to suppression. How long does it last though? Doesn't tell me. It's like a super crazy buff. I mean, as you'd expect, for taking out one of the models there. Las Cannon's getting shots. This Dreadnought's under serious pressure. Ogrins might go down. Ogrins do go down. And this Dreadnought is done for, I think. Yep, Dreadnought goes down. Sneery Thug goes tier 3 with double Assault Marines and Scouts. Lord Commissar now doing some work with that power sword. Look at that. Into level 2. Angels of Death goes up to try and save these Marines, and it might have worked there. Heal goes off also. Good engagement for Tharx Gamma, I think. I think he would have traded those Ogrins for a Dreadnought. Another heavy weapon squad. Autocannon maybe. At the moment it's got the default heavy bolter for suppression and stuff. Sneery Thug is sticking with his tier 3. Doesn't have the red for Terminators. Could get a Predator tank though. Just needs to be careful to shut down the las cannon first with one of his Assault Marines before he brings that Predator tank out to start shooting stuff. 241 to 287. Pretty close on VPs. Tharx Gamma with a 40 or so lead. And he's bashing power pretty effectively here. There's a jump. Again, Catachan's getting caught by it. Takes so much damage while they're on the ground. Getting a shotgun blast off. And trying to escape with it. These Guardsmen fully upgraded to 12 models with the Commissar member and Sergeant and plasma guns. The other squad still with 9. That was a good mercenary strike, but these Marines might go down. Heal might have saved them. I think the heal did save them. Very, very timely heal. Heavy weapon squad in there. Might get jumped. Shotgun blast from the Scouts. There's a jump on them. They're going to be forced off the field. Lord Commissar arrived like 30 seconds too late. But now he's weighing in on those Marines. Nice special attack. Oh, but there's the full auto. And that retreats him off. Grenade takes out a couple of models. You can get the contested VP back, I guess. 223 to 282. Oh, some mines dropped here. Might want to drop some mines over near this contested VP. Generator up. Very rarely see them on those edge power nodes. So what do you do now, Sneery? Got no power. Tons of wreck. Oh, wait. I was going to say, where the hell did his other Assault Marine squad go? He upgraded them into Vanguard Veterans, which of course gives you all 4 models back. This is not bad. These guys all have power weapons by default. A Lightning Claw, a couple of power swords, and that Thunder Hammer. You can swap that Thunder Hammer out for a Power Fist, but they do lose access to their Melter Bomb, which is a pretty big trade to make. Their Melter Bomb gives you tons of nice anti-vehicle utility. Here come Double Guardsmen and the Commissar. Do they both now have Commissars? I think they do. And there's the Lord of the Commissars. Here he is. Level 3. Level 6 Apothecary. Pretty close to his level 7 heal. The heal of the Apothecary gets more powerful every 2 levels. Gets jumped on twice and taken out. At a 4th or 5th time, I think, he's gone down. And that's made a big difference in this game. I mean, if you surmise that he's paid 250 rec to revive him each time, that's 1,000 rec spent on just getting your Lord Commissar back on the field, whereas the Apothecary's probably spent nothing. I'm not sure how he revived, but he might have just used Laramans, in which case it was only red spent. Bunker goes up. It's a medical bunker. That's why all these guys are regenerating health. They can reinforce off it too. Las Cannon will struggle to hit those infantry models. Here's some Catachans. Shotgun blast goes in. What level are these fellas? Level 3. They will hurt you in melee. Vanguard Veterans jumping in. They do have 2,000 hit points at level 1 though, these guys, and they have leveled up too. Heal goes off. The Thunderhammer proccing one of its 15% chances of knockback there. These Vanguard Veterans tanking a hell of a lot. The Catachans have to escape into the bunker there. Probably should have been shooting down the Apothecary while they were chasing, I think. Got a little bit sidetracked. What was this? It's scouts doing their thing. 217 to 225 on the VPs. Oh, Predator tank was on the way and then cancelled. What's he playing in? He's got tons of wreck. Is he saving up for a Land Raider? That must be it. He can't be trying to save up red for Terminators. He might be. I mean, he's only 60 away. It's quite a lot of Guardsmen he needs to kill, though. It's a Land Raider Redeemer on. Hitting the cap. Double. 178 to 170. The Apothecary running into some mines over here. Don't tell anyone. And again, nobody saw that, don't worry. Nobody saw it. What's he trying to do? He's trying to steal it, I guess. It is rigged up. There we go. You lose your Apothecary now. Was that worth it, though? Because you could just Larriman's him back. Now he's lost that bunker. I guess it means he's not in this next fight, at least. Because unlike in retail, where you Larriman's right where you died and get back up, you get sent back to base in Elite Mod. Terminator's on the field now for Sneery Thug. Now he's used all of his ready. Can't Larriman's. Level 4 Catachans tanking like crazy here and putting some hurt on his scouts. They laugh in the face of your power fist and they wiped out the scouts. Can they get away though? I think they do. Well done, fellas. Ogren's trying to assault the Land Raider. Did a lot of damage to it, but I don't think they're going to be able to finish it off here. You need to run away, fellas. Are they going to get away? They might. Vanguard Veteran jumping after them. And the Assault Marine jumping after them over the crater edge. But the Ogrins escape, I think, 9 hit points, 8 hit points, 5 hit points. And they get out of there. Could they not have jumped again? They might have been able to jump again. I think they should have. 156 to 170. Apothecary still down. Lord Commissar is up. He goes tier 3. Oh, he has stubbornness he's gone for. Okay. Because he does have a lot of stuff around him. It's a pretty awesome accessory. Regenerates 10% of his hit points every 3 seconds if you have enough troops around you. That's pretty crazy. He might have enough for that. So yeah, he must. He has 24 troops around him just from the double guardsman. And what else? That's all it gives you now. It used to give you a massive damage buff, like up to 75%. Oh, it's going Fist of Rhoppus. So what happens? Someone must know. What happens if you use None Shall Fall and then try to execute someone? Maybe nothing. Maybe just cancel each other out. Maybe they don't die and thus you don't get the buff. None Shall Fall, saving those Catachans, and down goes the Land Raider. That's kind of getting shots in there. I wasn't even paying attention. And I guess Sneery Thug wasn't either. Can't underestimate how much damage a single Lascannon can do. I said that when the Dreadnought was out, and it played out to be true against the Land Raider too. Double cap now for Sneery Thug. There's a big victory though for Tharx Gamma. Ogren's Thug, a lacking mobility, shall we say, just kind of standing on the east side there, and Tharx doing the right thing, coming to the west side, going for both the naturals here. Single cap though. Needs to tie up the Terminators maybe. I'll just go straight after the scouts then. Here come the Ogrins. Scouts retreat out, scouts go down. Need to keep moving, there we go. Lord Commissar gets the decap. Gonna be close. Second Land Raider Redeemer hits the field. Tharx did not get any Lumen Russes out. I don't think he's got time to do so here. Maybe he does. Full auto on the Ogrins there. I think there's the None Shall Fall. So now the Commissar is going to be the big threat you need to go after. Really smacking away at those Terminators. Takes down a model. I think they have switched targets to the Commissar. Yeah, down goes the Commissar. Oberyn's get the hell out of there. These guys continue to pour in shots. Level 3. And I can't select the others. Why can't I select the others? They're right there. There we go. Level 4. Can he kill these Terminators here? They just teleported in, I think. There's Angels of Death. 143 to 17 with a double cap for Tharx Gamma. Where's the Land Raider gone? Land Raider hasn't moved. There we go. Took its time. Terminators survive. Here comes the last cannon. Won't reliably hit the Terminators now. They're no longer a large unit, they're now a medium unit. Not quite as small as regular infantry, which are classified as small, I believe. And down they go. Plasma guns hit him just fine. Here comes some Assault Marines level 4 who revenge their fallen First Company Terminators. Those guys got away. Or did they? There's the jump. Gonna be close. Bang, 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 bang. Commissar lives. Commissar lives. 109 to 17. Land Raider wants to have a word with this las cannon. Nice up close. Might take it out on retreat here if the assault cannon does another burst. There we go. It lives. Assault squad runs away. 2-to-1 cap for Sneery Thug might be enough. It might be enough, or will it? Because here's Tharx grammar capping. I think he's going to stop the cap on like 1 or 2 here. Stops it on 2. Sneery Thug surely though can take this VP here, and that'll be enough, getting both the naturals. I don't think Tharx can get over here quickly enough. Catachans and the Commissar are going to try, but there's a Land Raider in your way. And Vanguard veterans now that have just retreated back to it. Commissar goes for the cap, while the Catachans distract the Vanguard veterans. Catachans run away. Don't think he's going to have time though. Now we'll see. Here's a bunch of plasma guns. Going to get jumped. And I think the Apothecary is going to take this, which is going to be enough to get the win. Because the Commissar went down trying to cap their areas. The 2-to-1 cap gets it. What a topsy-turvy game. Sneery Thug floating tons of resources at the end there. Tons of losses for this Lord Commissar. And I think that made a big difference. There was a lot of requisition spent getting that guy back to his feet. The Oberyns did great. Very fun to see these guys trampling around. And go plasma guns. 2 level 4 Guardsmen. How often do you see double Land Raiders coming out in a 1v1, one after the other? Pretty cool to see. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.